ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. A very warm good evening to all the wonderful students out there. So I will be giving a video lecture on concepts of Java programming language for fifth sem PMCS students, BSc students. Okay, for BSc department, I'm going to give a video tutorial on the concepts of Java. So I'm Devidas Kaskar. So I am your presenter for today's online session. So let me start with the concepts. So in today's concept, we will study decision-making statements. Obviously, in your life also, we need to make certain decisions according to situations. So in Java programming also, we have decision-making statements in Java. So decision-making statements in programming the Java programming language decides the direction of flow of program execution. So according to one condition, one decision has been made. Okay, for example, if the condition is true, then the next statement will be executed. Okay, let us take one example. Okay, in traffic signals, when we see the green light, we will make a decision to move forward to move our vehicle. Similarly, when we see a red light on the traffic signal, then we will stop our vehicles, isn't it? So according to one condition, we need to take certain decisions. So similarly in Java programming language, according to one condition, the corresponding statement can be executed or the next statement can be executed. So in Java, we have four types of decision-making statement: simple if statement, if-else statement, nested if statements, and if ladder. So let us see those statements one after the another. So let's see the first if statement. It is just very simple if statement. The if statement is the most simple decision-making statement. Why it is considered as a simple decision-making statement? Because it has only one condition. Based on condition, one statement can be executed. It doesn't have any else part. That is the next decision-making statement we will study. Right now, the focus should be simple if statement. So, if the condition is true, then only the statement or the body of the if statement can be executed. If it is not, then the statement cannot be executed. So let me illustrate that concept with the help of this small program. So I am using a class called if program. Then obviously we need to define the main function. Then I am using one object called age, and I am assigned the object value of age as 20. If now I am going for the decision making statement called if age is greater than 18. If age is greater than 18, then what is the value? What is the value which is present in age? 20. Isn't it? Now 20 is greater than 18. Yes. When the condition is correct, when the condition is true, then only this statement can be executed. Which one? System.out.println age is greater than 18. Excuse me. So let me explain the program once again. So I am defining one program called if example. In that I have written a main function. In that I have used one object called age. For age I have initialized age as 20. Okay. So let us assume my age is 20. Okay, just one assumption. Even though I am 36 years old, so time being, let me little bit anchor. So let me assume that my age is 20. Okay. Now I will compare my age with 18. 20 is greater than 18. The condition is true or false? Obviously the condition is true. When the condition is true, then the next statement, that is system.out.println age is greater than 18. 20 is greater than 18. So when the condition is true, then only a statement can be executed. That is the concept of simple if statement. I hope it is understood, and it is one of the most easiest decision-making statements we have in Java. So moving to the next concept, that is if-else statement. If else, it do have two types of the statement. First, one statement, then else statement. So the Java if-else statement also tests the condition. Obviously, all the decision-making statement test the condition. Based on condition only, it will proceed to the execution of statements. So let me define the Java if-else statement. It executes the if block if the condition is true. Otherwise, else block is executed. So first condition true ittandre first statement execute ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ condition false ittandre else part ನ ಏನು statement ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದು execute ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Simple. ಈಗ for example general voting like minimum age is to 18. Okay, if age is greater than 18, ಈಗ ನಾನು 20 ಅಂತ previous example ನಾನು age 20 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಹೌದಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಈಗ 18 is greater 20 is greater than 18, true, then I am eligible. ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ for example ನನ್ನ age 15 ಇತ್ತು, 15 is greater than 18, no, it will be false. Under those circumstances, the else part can be executed. Let us see the example. Then once again, I am defining one class name, if-else example. Then once again, I need to write the main function. Now, the number which I am using is 13. I have assigned a data value called 13 to number object, which is declared up in data type. Now, here I am dividing the number by 2. I am trying to find the modulus. Modulus, what does modulus indicate? What does in order to find whether the number is even or odd, I always need to use the modulus operator. So if 13 modulus 2, remainder is 1. Yes or no? Okay. When the remainder is 1, then it is called as an odd number. See, in this program, if you see this program, if number is modulus 2 equal to this is the equality operator, when the remainder is 0, then it will be called as a even number. But we are not getting remainder as 0 when we divide 13 by 2. Yeah, remainder will be 1. So once under those circumstances, else part it gives an odd number. So depending upon the condition, when the condition is true, the first if statement will be executed. If the condition is false, this condition is false, then the else statement will be executed. Okay. It is another simple if-else statements. So next we will see the nested if statement. So nested if statement, what happens in nested if? One if statement can store another if statement. Means the block of first if statement can contain another if statement. That is where it is called as nested if statement. One if statement naga ಇನ್ನೊಂದು if statement ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ nested if statement ಅಂತಾರ. So let us see the program. The class name is nested if demo. If you closely observe that here I am using the first if statement. Immediately within the block of first if statement, I have defined the second if statement. So under these circumstances, it is known as nested if statement. So let me explain the program. In order to understand the program, first let us know what is the I value. I have initialized I value to 10. Okay. So in the first if statement, I am checking this is equality operator which is used to check whether I value is equal to 10. Okay, then 10, whether 10 equal to 10, the condition is what? Here I am using a second if statement within the block of first. Here I am using I less than 15. What is the I value? 10. So it will give I is smaller than 15. Why? Because 10 is smaller than 15. Yes or no? 10 is lesser or smaller than 15. So this statement will be executed. Once again, I am using another if. I is less than 12. Once again, 10 is less than 12. Yes or no? Yes. So once again, I will get a I is smaller than 12 too. Else part ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ else part you had to in case false ಆದರೆ direct ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ then obviously smaller ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ opposite word greater ಇರ್ತದೆ. So in case ಇದು false ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಇದು false ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ else part ಗೆ ಬಂದು I is greater than 15 ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, so this is nested if ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು if ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ನಾಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು if ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ if ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ವಿದಿನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ if ಬಂತು ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ nested if. Nested if. Nested if. So coming back to the next is if else if ladder. The if else if ladder statement executes one condition from multiple statements. In this program we use multiple if conditions. So let me explain this program with the example of one program. Now I have defined one class name as if else if program. Then I have initialized 65 marks, 65 data value to marks. Then in the first if condition I will check whether marks is lesser than 50. If the marks is lesser than 50, then it will give output as fail. See, check out. But our marks is 65. 65 is not lesser than condition false. So that's why this statement will get executed. Now let us see the second condition. If marks are greater than 50 and lesser than 60. If one student marks lesser than 50 to greater than 50 or lesser than 60 ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಡಿ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ಸ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಡಿ. ಅದೇ ವೇಳೆಯಾಗ else if marks are greater than 60 and lesser than 70 ಸಿ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೇ in the same way if the marks are greater than 70 and lesser than 80 it will have a D grade in the mark sheet. Similarly, when the marks are greater than 80 and lesser than 90, then A grades. So, in the last condition, if the marks in the range of above 90 and less than 100, then he will get as a A plus grade. So, if a student doesn't get any grades, then it will go to the else part and it will indicate invalid grade. If he takes E, F, those grades we haven't given in the program, then it will be indicated as invalid. So here the main focus of the program is how many if else if we are using. If you remember, this is the first if statement. Then immediately after else we are using if. Immediately after when you are using if, then it is called as if else if ladder. See here, once again after this if we are using else if. So we can represent different conditions. And each if has one condition. Okay, if the condition is true, then it will execute its corresponding statement. If its condition is false, then it will come to the last else part, that is invalid. So in this way, if else if ladder program can be written in the Java program. So the decision making statements are over. It is as I said, it is typically based on conditions. Once we concentrate on conditions, then it will be easy for us to write different programs. So coming back to the coming back to the looping statements. Looping statement we use in order to execute a particular instruction multiple number of times. ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರೆದು ಅದು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಲೂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it will continue executing that statement until the condition becomes false. So those kind of statements are known as looping statements. So I will define it once again. Looping statements in programming language is a feature which facilitates the execution of set of instructions repeatedly while some condition values to true. ಅದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂತ ಟ್ರೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಲೂಪ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, we will see different examples for loop, while, do, while. Then you will come to know what are looping statements. So we have three types of looping statements in Java: for loop, while, and do while loops. So let's start with the first looping statement, for. For loop provides a concise way of writing the loop structure. Okay. A for loop consumes initialization, conditioning, increment or decrement in one line, thereby providing shorter or easier way to debug the structure of looping. For loop syntax naga ಮೂರು parts ಅವರಿ. ಒಂದು initialization, ಒಂದು condition, ಒಂದು testing initialization condition, testing condition and increment or decrement. Initialization ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು for loop variable ಒಂದು data assign ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ for int I equal to 0. That is initialize, start with 0 or we can then reach up to certain point. Testing condition ಏನಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ for I should be less than or equal to 4 ಅಂತ. Okay, we have one example program. So initialization is used to assign one initial value to the for loop variable. Then in testing condition we will test that condition again and again until the condition becomes false. Then increment decrement ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗ 0 ಲಿಂದ 1 ಹೋಗೋದಿದೆ. For example ನಮ್ಮದು initialization variable for loop variable I ಅದ, I++ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0 to 1 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 1 to 2 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 2 to 3 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ನಾವು increment ಮಾಡೋದು. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ decrement ಮಾಡೋದಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ I minus 4 ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ 3 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 2 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 1 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 0 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So that is the three very important parts of for loop. One is initialization, testing condition and increment or decrement. Let's see an example program. See, in this program I am using a class name as for loop demo and after that I am writing a main function. So a direct for loop statement concentrate ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ int x equal to 2. ಓಕೆ, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿನಿ, x should be less than or equal to 4, then x++. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ 2 ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. 2 is less than or equal to 4, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, x++ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. s++ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 2 ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ 3 ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ system.out.println ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ x ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ 2 ಲಿಂದ x++ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 2 ಲಿಂದ 3 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ 4 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 4 ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು. 4 is less than or equal to 4, ಲೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲತ್ತೀರಿ or equal ಅಲ್ಲತ್ತೀರಿ, 4 equal to 4 ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡರ್ ದಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ 4 ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ 4 ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು 4ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ 5 ಅಂತ, ಯಾವಾಗ 4ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 5 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. 5 is less than or equal to 4? No. When the condition fails, then we won't get the output as 5 on the monitor. So we will get 3 outputs here, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, when the condition is satisfied, then only the output will be, the value of x will be printed. So I will explain the for loop once again. It's the initialization means starting from 2, it will print the output up to when the x value becomes lesser or equal to 4. So first value 2, then 2 increment auto increment ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 3 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 3 auto increment ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 4 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ 4 is less than condition specify ಅಂತ 4 will be printed on output. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು 4 ಗೆ auto increment ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ 5 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. 5 ಇಲ್ಲಿ x value 5 ಆಗೋದು 5 less than or equal to 4 condition fail ಆಗ್ತದೆ so looping statement ಅಲ್ಲಿ stop ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So when we execute this program we will get first output as 2, second output as 3 and third output as 4. Then it will exit from the loop. I hope for loop is clear. So we will see the so in this for while loop, this is the second for looping statement in Java. A while loop is a control flow statement that allows to be executed repeatedly based on a given Boolean condition. So the while loop can be thought as a repeating if statement. ಯಾವಾಗಿನ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅವಾಗಿನ ಇವು ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿದಿನ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿಂಗ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವೈಲ್ ಲೂಪ್ನ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ವಾಪಸ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್ ವೈಲ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅವಾಗ ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಲ್ಲ. Whenever the condition is true, the looping statement can be executed. When the condition is false, it exits from the loop. Clear? So let's see an example program. So for this, I am using a class name as while loop demo. Then main function. Now the x value is 1. Okay, I have initialized x value as 1. Then here while loop y less than or equal to 4. First in bರ್ತದೆ first x value 1 ಅಲ್ಲ. 1 is less than or equal to 4, condition is true, then it will print the value of x. Now we x call ಮಾಡಲತ್ತೀವಿ, x value 1 and print ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Next x plus plus ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 1 ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು 2 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Once again it will come to this condition, 2 is less than or equal to 4, condition is true, then it will execute the value of x. Once again x value is printed as 2. Then once again the x value which is right now 2 is incremented from 2 it will become 3. 3 is less than or equal to 4, the condition is true. Once again the looping statement will be executed. So the x value will be printed as 3. Once again it comes here, when 3 is incremented it will become 4. Once again when the when in this condition the condition is checked whether 4 is less than or equal to 4. Less than to ಆಗಲ್ಲ, equal to 4 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ 4 is equal to 4, once again it will execute this statement, the value of x is 4. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು x value 4 auto increment ಮಾಡಿ 5 ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 5 less than or equal to 4 ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ x value is greater than 4, ಅವಾಗ condition false ಆಗ್ತದೆ. When condition becomes false, the while loop stops. So starting from 1 we will get 4 outputs, 1 2 3 and 4. After 4 it won't execute and won't print the value as 5. It simply exit from the loop and the program will be terminated. I hope the program is clear. So in the same way we will see the next program. Next program is another variant of loop while loop is do while loop. Do while loop is similar to loop statement with only one difference, that it checks the condition after executing the statement and therefore is the example of exit control loop. It is considered as a exit control ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅದು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ whileನಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದ ರೀ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ವೈಲ್ಸ್ ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಲೂಪ್, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅದ ರೀ. whereas do while naga condition last ಗೆ ಅದ ರೀ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ it is known as do while loop. So first ಇಲ್ಲಿ do while naga ಏನಾಗ್ತದ, what happens in do while, first statement will be executed, then the condition is checked. Whereas in while loop, first the condition is checked, then the statement will be executed. But in do while, first the condition will be executed, then the condition is checked. Okay. So let us see the simple example. So for this I am using a do while loop demo. Then here I am initializing the x value as 21. Now concentrate, x value is 21. Okay. When the x value is 21, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 21 ಅದ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 21 ಇದ್ರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 20. 21 ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 20 ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಡೂ ಆಗೋದು ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ರೀ. ಏನು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ 21 ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 21 ಇದ್ರೆ 22 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಚೆಕ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? 22 ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 20, ಅವಾಗ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ನೋ? ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ವೆನ್ ದ while condition becomes false, the looping gets terminated. But even though the condition fail ಆದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ನಮಗೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅದ, ನಾವು ಅದು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮೊದಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಲತ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನು 21 ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ 21. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅವಾಗ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ do while is control is called as exit control. Why? Even though condition is false, it is executing the statement for once. Even though condition is false, it will execute the program for one time. Okay. So this will in this way I will end the session. Thanks for your cooperation and your patience. Thank you.